So my name's Andrew Jenks. I've been a member of the Chesil since 2015. I have been involved in a huge variety of different productions over the 9 years, and all of it has been enjoyable. It's a very different thing from what I do in my day-to-day job, working as a doctor at Southampton General. So this is a completely different experience for me and a real wind down at the end of a busy day. I have done a bit of amateur drama before, including being in a pantomime dame several times in various pantomimes. So a lot of different roles that I've played over the years.
Can you tell me some similarities between playing a pantomime dame and Branwell?
I don't think Branwell would thank you for suggesting that there were any similarities. He thinks himself quite a ladies' man, I think, and there's really nothing feminine about him in his outlook. So he's an interesting character, surrounded by his 3 sisters, having had 5 sisters originally, and he was the only boy. So he really, I think, had to fight quite hard to be the only man in the household, and I think that influenced what happened to him later in his life.
You mentioned that you quite like coming to rehearsals to kind of wind down after. From the very little I've seen, that seems crazy. It seems like quite an intense play. What can audiences sort of expect?
I think there is a lot of intensity to the play, and I think, it's a really interesting interpretation and exploration of the Brontes. Those of us who know anything about the Brontes probably know about Emily and Charlotte, maybe a little bit about Anne, but probably very little of the life of Branwell and their father, Patrick. And I think this explores their relationship as a family, and gives us a real insight into what it was like living in that household of these very highly talented people. It's an interesting ride. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for any of them, to be perfectly honest. But I think it's a really interesting exploration of what they were as a family and how they all connected to each other, and how the characters that they brought into their books were often derived from experiences that they went through, people that they met, often even getting ideas from each other. Their own siblings influenced some of the characters that they were writing about.
Amazing. Is there anything about... please don't take offence by this, because I've seen bits about Branwell's character. Is there anything you take from your personal life, what you use in Branwell's character?
Oh, it's a really difficult question. I think Branwell is a very troubled young man. He was the only son of the family, and clearly it's what is clear right from the start of the play, where we see them as children, that Branwell was very much the apple of his father's eye, and his father had huge expectations. And I think that fell very heavy on Branwell's shoulders, actually. And I think when he didn't reach the heights that his father expected him to, he reacted by destroying himself. I find that difficult to relate to. Fortunately, I've never been put under the sort of pressure that I think Branwell has. But I think, we can all see in ourselves, our parents, of course, want the best for us. And perhaps when we feel like we haven't achieved, you can understand the disappointment that Branwell experienced. I think he reacted by spiralling downwards. Others, hopefully, don't spiral downwards, but actually pick up the challenge and carry on.
Amazing. I think I'll end with the question I asked Jen. Who, out of the group, who's the youngest sibling of the group, of the cast?
Oh, of our cast, I'm going to agree with Jen, Zoe.
Amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to
add?
No,
don't think so.
Perfect.
Thank you
so much.